Hey everybody, this is Jechta Plays, and this time we're going to finish the rooftop, the Japanese rooftop. And yeah, the first video was 2 hours. 2 hours. It took me 2 hours to sculpt this rooftop, and not because of that. It's because it's so complex to do it. Because I think that now that I know a little bit of the steps that I have to take to get this right, I think I can do easily maybe in 1 hour mark or even 30 minutes. Well, 30 minutes, that's no, not 30 minutes. I think I really need an hour for this. I know myself a little bit. But I definitely need an hour. But yeah, now that I know a little bit of the steps, how to make a little bit of the Japanese style rooftops, um, it's not that hard basically. I think you could actually do this in one square. So if you're sculpting a square and then put cylinders on the sides, then you already have this shape. So the way how I started to sculpt this was maybe not the right way, but I had to figure it out myself. I have to learn. I need to learn how to approach different things as well. I mean, everyone learning. But now I know a little bit about the way how to structure this. I at least know for the next time that I need a rooftop, a Japanese rooftop, and I do need them a lot because of area. But yeah, now I know a little bit of the workflow basically of this. And in this video, we're going to finish it down. So a little bit of a disclaimer, like I also said in the first video of the rooftop. I will probably going to take my time. I'm not going to speed sculpt or anything. I'm not going to speed up time lapse video. I will just post it just like this on YouTube, that you can see all the progress that I'm doing. I will probably do maybe a speed time lapse on Twitter or something, since Twitter cannot have more than 2 minutes. So I probably have some time lapse over there, so you can see a little bit of the yeah, the things that I'm doing. But if you really want to follow the whole thing, the whole progress, you can just well, if you know seeing this video, then you're watching this probably on YouTube, and see me sculpting. And this is the way how I sculpt. This is not the only way to do things. So if you're seeing me stuff doing and you're maybe a sculpt yourself, you're like, oh, Jechta, you're doing it so difficult. I am really aware of that. But yeah, you cannot really yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to improve myself, but so be aware that I sometimes maybe take approaches a little bit different. But as long as the outcome stays cool and insane, and I think that's fine, right? It doesn't really matter which road you take, as long as you're going in the same route. Eventually, I think that will be fine. So that's a little bit of disclaimer. Let's I need some hydration. Let's do that first. I'm not going to cut this video. Not if I make mistakes, I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to show you the whole progress. Even if I make mistakes during that progress, I am going to show that as well. I'm not a cutter in my videos. I know, yes, my videos will take maybe a little bit more than an hour, but at least I will show you the mistakes as well, because you'll learn from mistakes, and learning from mistakes is always the best to learn. Okay, so let's start. I will put, yeah, I can keep the studio light on for now. What we need to do is, oh, I don't know which side we were now. Okay, this one. So what we need to do is we have to make the tiles in between the roof, right? So that's the first thing that we have to do. I can do basically a few things. I can or paint it. So we can already paint the whole thing and then paint the tiles in between. That is easier, I think, and also maybe sculpture less heavy. But yeah, you can do that. But I think that I am going a little bit step further, and I'm actually going to put a little bit detail in there. So that it looks actually a little bit of 3D animation. So when there is sunlight hitting on this building, and there's like some reflection going on, you actually see the reflection of the tiles as well. And that's why I'm not doing painting, because like with painting you only can have reflection in one certain angle, and my game you can play around, like you can walk around in it, so you see a structure from different angles. And if you're do paint only, yeah, then it will look really fake, or at least like look more cartoony. My game is not going to be like, I'm talking about Aria. Aria is not going to be realistic game. Definitely not. But it has some like references to what we know from the real world. But like I'm combining that in a fantasy setting. So yeah, that's. I'm not going to say much more about that. But I don't want to make it look too cartoony. But I really want to make like at least that it's, yeah, a mixture in between. So it looks okay, but also not too realistic. So I try to find a good mixture in between that. So I will do the tiles separately, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the tiles, I think in a certain way, so that like the light can still hit, and the rest I will do with solve with painting, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure what kind of tiles I'm still going for, because like Japanese rooftops have really a lot of like different types of tiles. You have round ones, squares, tall ones, triangles. You have so many different shapes, forms. Bamboo, you can also do bamboo if you want. I could definitely turn this into a bamboo rooftop if I want, but there are so many different ways to sculpt a rooftop, and I'm not really sure in what kind of form I'm going for. We're still in 1%, so I'm pretty happy, but I'm almost 100% sure that we're going to hit the 2%, especially with the painting, but maybe not. Maybe we're still doing it pretty fine. So let's start. Okay, I am going to think that we're going to use a cylinder for this stuff, and also not in 1 but in 1.8 maybe. And just let me see. I need to see what kind of form of tiles I can go for basically. We need to. But this is something that like, yeah, I mean like I'm not really sure like what type of tiles I go for. I was thinking to maybe go for a little bit flat tiles, like this, and then build that up in the end. I think maybe that is a good way to do it. But we do need like so. I hope we can do. This is just like an example of how I think I'm going to do the tiles in between. I'm not sure about this. For some reason, like it didn't went in a straight line, so I have to see what I did wrong there. I think that this could work. Using the longer triangles. Let me. Oh. I was like, let me place it, but Dream said no. I was pressing cross, but apparently Dreams was like, nope. Cross don't work like that in here. Okay. I think like as long that we are like a little bit underneath, like between the supports, like the supports are very important. Okay, I have to release it now. I think this is fine. At least I hope. I am also kind of wishful thinking that I'm in a straight line. So the thing is that with this, like with using stuff like this, we can shorten this down pretty easily. Oh, that's the wrong one. So we only have to do that with the. Am I in mirror mode? Yes. Always, always checking just in case. Okay, so now we have this one here, and this is a little bit like wishful thinking. If I can get it. Oh boy. I have to stick it out a little bit to grab it. Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like Dreams doesn't like me to grab this. Okay, no, this is not definitely not going to work. So I think that like the best solution is just like do this. Just copy them. And then make them fit. It's really hard to see if I'm not, well, I think I will do it manually. Like the thing is like if you're doing stuff like this yourself, like if you're going to sculpt a roof and you want to have like tiles going on, like you can do stuff like this, but I'm not saying that like hey you should do it as yourself as well, because like it can be a little bit time consuming, and I'm definitely aware of that. Oh, we're going in the wrong way. I'm definitely aware of that. So you have to keep in mind that doing so is going to make you, yeah, it's going to be time consuming. That's for 100% sure. But I kind of like to have these type of details in my buildings and stuff like that, and especially if you're having it having it in with sun reflections and stuff like that, it will all come together eventually. Maybe I should have done the roof tiles first. Now that I'm seeing this, I definitely should have done the roof tiles a little bit earlier. How are we doing with the crafting so far? We're still doing fine. I'm very happy with that. Like normally I would have stretched them out. That was my wishful thinking. But couldn't get that, so this works too. Wait, did I not have? This is also working. And the thing is with like if you're doing tiles like this, and I choose for longer tiles. Like you can also use circles, like round shapes. And I will definitely, if you're going to play Aria, you will definitely see different styles of rooftops eventually. But like for this particular one, I'm using the longer because like then it looks like the whole building is also longer. But it's not. But like it's that feeling that you at least get with these tiles. But yeah, I'm aware that I could have approached this a little bit better. I am aware of that. I could have maybe said like I will do the supports a little bit later on. But this works too. This definitely works. But and with that I mean like we have to put this a little bit up. And be careful. Don't go too wild on this. But something like that. That would work. And we can like for maybe make sure that like put that a little bit higher as well eventually. But we come to that later. So that's like it's not like a big ramp or like wow. That was Dutch and English in one. It's not like a big disaster, if we have to do this. I mean, I think it will look still good once we have done this. So we're going to continue. We're almost there. And the good thing is about like working in mirror modes is that you have to do less half of the work, which for sculpting is pretty neat to have that. I think we can do this a little better. And considering like now we are still in like in studio lights. If I remove that one, and you can also see a little bit like it's not like we not have actually sun at the moment, but you can already like can tell like if we would place a sun, for example. You can already see that like the roof tiles is going to lit up, and if we have the proper settings, with like how it reflects and everything, so you have like a more depth into the rooftop. So it looks like you cannot really achieve this with painting. I mean, you can achieve it if you're painting like lines. Like you can, of course, you can achieve this with painting, but the problem is that like for example, my game will have like uh this is going to happen in the game. Like the sun will go in different locations, and that means that also the shadow is hitting differently on the sculpt, and that is something you cannot do with painting because like unless you're going to animate the painting, but that's something you cannot really do. So that's something that I really want to like achieve with this. That's why I have the tiles in 3D. Okay, so we have here in the top one. Okay, I think that is it. Close this one a little bit. I think we are done. I mean I think. Make this a little bit better. And we need to push this up a little bit so they fall in between. Doing that with all of them. Just far enough so that like it's that the tiles falls in between. Like so. And there you have the tiles in between the stuff. And we all need to do the corners. I'll just do. Oh, we can't do this. This smaller. I think maybe we need to push this one a little bit up as well. Oh. Too much though. Don't want to destroy what we have. And I we can always go for replacing everything. I mean, like it's not like we cannot do it. We have the power. We have the power to do that. There we go. And now the front is done. Probably what I'm thinking about is to place these things connected to the tiles on top, or like the supports on top. I don't know. I don't know all the names, so. And I will do that with like this is what I mean. So it makes sense. So this is something that you can do. I mean, it could be maybe look weird because like now it looks like it's all connected. What you can do, if you don't like that, I can also, well, we can stay this one for example here. I don't. Let me see. Maybe what we can do. Let me try something else. Let me try something. I'm going to remove this. See what we can do with this. Need to have this a little bit higher. Like so. So that it falls under. And now we can say like this one is on that. I still want to make like a cool maybe we can end up like making a cool thing on top. I think that would be something we can do. And this is something like, yeah, you don't have to do it. Like you're absolutely free of choice of if you're going to make a roof like this. Yeah, just use your imagination basically. Like so. And I used. Oh, okay, yeah. Huh. That is absolutely funny. We have to recut it. Because like I removed. It's fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. There we go. So yeah, and I did a little bit different with these things here. I think that like it's having so it's not completely the same on all sides. Okay, so let's see how it looks if we copying this one. And I made it in one-on-one sculpt, so you can easily just like select the one grid, so you don't have to go lower in the grid size, so you can easily place this and have multiple roofs, basically. And this is also very Japanese, by the way. Have stuff like this. But that's like the thing what you can do. Like you don't have to resculpt another roof again. Like you can just like reuse the already scope that you have, and then you only need to make supports underneath, of course. I still need to make that in Dreams myself as well, but that's something that you can do. And then you already have like a very Japanese kind of like structure with some tiles in between. Now we have to do the same on the sides as well. So I'm going back to the 8 and going to use this lovely tile in the same place. And then we instantly see that we are not in the same. Now we are a little bit. I don't really know what's going on in here, to be honest. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, who cares? Okay, so let me. I think we can stretch this one out. It will save us some time. Here I could do it a little bit better. But I do not need Squid Snap for this. We actually have to use the side move. I think like this. And then all we need to is bring them all back to the side. And luckily they are almost the same size as the supports in the side, so we don't really have to cut anything. We can just like move them back to their position. And then I think we can paint. Because I don't think we have anything else. We can maybe do an extra decoration on the sides. That's definitely something we can do. But other than that, I think we are ready to paint. Duh, duh. Like so. And we only need to bring support in the center a little bit more up. I think that I also need. Well, we do have still precise, so maybe I can. Long, as long they're hitting it in between, right? That is the key. Duh, duh. There. I think we are done. There we have it. Or Japanese Rooftop. Copy, clone it, so we have all sides ready. I think I'm going to maybe redo this, like this side here, because I see that now we are a little bit falling really strange away from the other roof. So I think I'm going to redo the sides here. But other than that, like I think that the sculpture itself is done. Like I said in the last video, you can make this hollow if you want, to fit it maybe on some supports. Otherwise, it will stick out into your ceiling. So you can make this hollow. But I already showed that in the last video, the first video of this. Let's see how it looks with the sun still. Even though this is not the sun settings that I'm going to use, but I'm really always checking how the light falls on the sculpt. That's always why I am doing this. I can place my aria settings really quickly in here. See where it is. There. No. Was that the right one? No, that is not the right one. That is the published one. Aria. This is the one that I'm going to use, but we are still. No. Huh? Oh, okay. Well, because like it has no painting, I guess yet. It looks so white. But I guess like we have not like put settings on this here. Because like we need some shininess and we need some metal and we need a color. I'm not going to do color like this, but to get a little bit of like what to expect. Because I'm actually going to paint and not doing like this. But it looks fine. It looks definitely fine. It's a really ugly green. But yeah, it's fine. Let's go back. All right. So yeah, the thing is that like yeah, you if you want to like test your sculpts, how it looks in certain like visual in your settings, and with Aria I have that. Um, so that's something that you can do. Okay. Before I'm going, how I think I will, since like this is like it's going to be like a smaller video because like we are almost done. But I think I'm going to redo this, like this side support here. Now it looks a little bit weird, but I didn't really felt the side yet, so I'm going to curve tool and make sure that we're still in. It's maybe one smaller. I'm going to connect to ends like so. And now all we need to do is bend them. Form them. Make sure that they're not like do weird stuff. This looks fine. I think I can already snap it on the thing. And okay, there are some like minor tweaks that I really want to do. To a little bit away. Yep. And this one here, you can do it manually. There. That's it. That feels a little bit better. Um, yeah, maybe not. There's like the thing is with curve tool is that once you place them, you cannot, of course, like cannot really tweak them anymore. So it's always, and I'm aware that like you can still use the same shape, but then like twist and turn. See how that looks. But we do need the corner. Like this corner is really. Ah, no, it's fine. I think this is better now. Really want to make this smaller a little bit. Okay. I think it's time to paint. And before I'm going to paint, I'm going to search for color palettes. It's going to be green cyan color, kind of rooftop. Um, so yeah, I need to find some color palettes. So I'm going to place, and I don't need mirror mode anymore. I can save. Click save. We already did some stuff again. There we go. And so just placing cube. There we go. And why the reason why I'm doing this is because like I'm going to I need to find some color schemes, and I'm not using too many different colors, so I go for the base color. And the base color is cyan or green. Cyan, I don't know what the color is a little bit. This one is going to be a little bit brown. Like we have to like it's a little bit brown. This one we can use for gray. And the last one is we're going maybe for a little bit of like bronze, yellow bronze look. And I think that's pretty neat. I think I'm still considering to decorate in here, by the way. But we can always do that later. I'm not really sure if I should do it or not. But I mean, like we could do it. Like we can make like some like. I think I'm going to do that. I think it's going to be pretty cool if we do something like that. Okay. Color. Not this one. Color. Paint. Okay, let's see. So the base color is a little bit harder to find, but that should be the one. And I'm going to mix it already a little bit with the darker version. So we already have a little bit of a mixture in that, and maybe that one as well. We can spin it a little bit if you want to do that. Come on. Don't want to spin it too fast. Sure if this is going to be. Don't know why it's not. What? Turn! Move! Move! Why is it not doing that? There you go. I think you can only spin on a certain amount of speed. I'm not really sure if I go for this. I mean, with the spinning, I mean. Oh, this is fine. Like, this is like very subtle. So save color. So now we have that, and so this is our base color, and it adds up like 1%. I know that. So that's like our base color, and now we need a little bit brown. So I'm really going for a little bit of like mixture. Like so. I'm not sure, but that could be our like the things in between, but I can still like of course go with the opacity and stuff like that. So that's what we have, and with this one, I say gray, but I think so with this one, I go for maybe already in the range of like orange a little bit. Or brownish, I don't know exactly. I'm going to spin this a little bit faster. Alright, so I'm not going to use this cubes by the way, but just like this is only like to show you like a little bit of like what I'm going for. And this one is like um for the decoration on top of it. And then we need like see if I can find the right. It's a little bit challenging to find the right one. Spin it fast. Okay. Something like that. So I think that this should be like our color scheme for. Oh, you don't want to. All right. Make it as big as possible so you can see a little bit what I'm going for. Okay. So how am I painting? Like I'm like mostly painting just like with of course with paint plane, but I'm also using the square. I'm not going to use guides or anything, so I'm not going to use grid snap. What I can use is surface snap. That's something that I do often use. So it's like a little bit easier if you want to snap the surface. And I always like shape the cylinder in a particular shape like this. And I like make it so, and make it bit smaller. I think, no, first what we need to do, first I'm going to layer the base color. So, um, and, and that is this one right here. So I'm just going to do poof, that one. And so that's like one color, right? So that's like just like one color. And now what I'm going to add is just all the details in between. So think I think I'm also going to do in mirror mode painting because like we're going to make it blurry anyway, so we're not going to see much of repetition. So I can just like paint it in mirror, which is totally fine. And we will start with dark, and I'm not going to paint like this. That's very ugly. But we're going to subblend, and also going to put opacity basically all the way to the down. I'm always putting the opacity as low as possible, and I will spin my stuff down, and then we're going to paint. And this is always for me the most satisfying part to do this, because this is where your painting comes alive. And we have to be careful not to paint too long on the surface, because like we really want to keep the the turbo as low as possible. So if you're going to paint super long on a sculpt, then it will eventually rise up your graphics. So you have to be careful with. I think I'm going to. Well, it's fine. Like you have to be careful that there's not going to be too much of repeatiness on the other side. Like you can turn off the mirror modes and do the rest alone to basically cover. This is always for me like, yeah, I love painting. I'm not saying that I am the best in that. Like there are like other dreamers that are way better than me. Um, so let's go a little bit for brown tints. Looks like this rooftop has been seeing a lot of rain and stuff like that, right? So it's been there for a while. So having a clean looking roof doesn't make any sense. So a rooftop should always be like it has seen some weather, been through some weather situations. And we can always tweak later on. Like we can always say like, okay, I do not like maybe this certain um, direction, or you can always tweak that later on. So there we have it. Like by tweaking, I mean like this, for example. Like if you want to like make the tiles a little bit more shiny. I want to say it's waxiness, but I'm not sure if I would go for waxiness. But I think that is pretty. Looks pretty decent already. Let's do the side as well. So let's first pick the dark color. Let me do that in mirror mode, by the way. But if you're adding painting, you're basically sorry, you're basically layering the like everything on top. And it's so much fun. I love spray painting dreams. I really love that. I think what we still should do maybe is decorating this here. Well, we forgot to do that, but I can do that later on. That's fine. Du, 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 okay, so now we put some brown. I'm just doing it randomly. It doesn't have to be like that precise. Okay, that looks fine. I don't see. I think we maybe can also add a little bit white, so that like the paint falls off. Basically, that's something we can add. But then I can wait one of these settings. This one, I'm not sure. This one. You can do that on like tops here. But that's like a little bit of like, yeah, like what do you like to do with as painting? I always try to that it feels like I don't want like to go too wide with everything. So probably should have chosen maybe the gray one. I don't know. Just like play around a little bit with colors. But don't play too long around because you know that will lead into more graphics. Try to do a little bit of like I think that's all right in here. Graphics memory 4%? Really? Oh no, that's because of these things, right? I got scared. Dreams, you scared me. Okay, I think I'm done. I really want. I'm really curious how it will look. So I'm going to place it in one of my test levels. But I think we're fine. Let's remove this, by the way. Let's see how far we are. Still 1%. I did it. Woo! I did it. I have a 1% rooftop. And I'm going to save this just in case. Quick save. Just in case. Because now I can like think of like okay, let's just like exit, and I'm going into my test level, and that's Aria World 2. You already have seen this from the trailer, so it's not another spoiler or anything. This is actually just from the trailer, even though there's a little bit more going on, but there are no spoilers in here. So this is always for me like a big like test how things will look inside an area, and I can already see that this is a little bit too bright. 1%. I'm so happy with that one. So we can like say this, and that is a lot better. That is a lot better. Look at that. Look at this. I am so happy with this. I'm not going to lie. I actually like this. It's not going to be placed here though, but just to see how it will look if it's scaled up. But I think that it's like not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm not doing it in grid at the moment, but I think that like the so what we have to do is make the sculpt a little bit darker in its total to get it fit in at least in here, but I think also in general. But that's something, yeah. Okay, good to know. I'm not going to say this, of course, but that's good to know. So we're going back into this Japanese roof, and all we need to do is put this a little bit down so it becomes darker. And that is it, guys. That is the rooftop. I think maybe what we still can do in its entirety is to paint a little bit extra. But I'm so happy that I got the 1% because like that was for me. Yeah, that was for me like the most important thing. Because like I really wanted to do like a 1% rooftop. Okay, now what we can do is I'm thinking, shall we do making cool looking like arc on the roof? That's like it's like I don't know, like I don't know, maybe something like that. I don't know why I make sound effects, but but like I'm considering to do that. Oh, I'm not in mirror mode, of course, because like we went out. Mirror. Maybe hit this. No, let's not do the snow snap. But I am thinking to and we also need to do the things here. But I'm thinking to add like to make the roof a little bit like extraordinary. So you can see it from afar. Do 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 do. You can also use this color to make rust. I think I will do that. We'll first do the sides a little bit. I just want to make sure that this is not like going to exceed the 1%. Oh wait, that should not be painted. Okay. 1%. I think. Yeah. Still 1%. Fully painted. And I think... Shall we look if I can go higher with quality? I don't think so. I think I already hit the... No, see? I cannot press higher. Like you can do it. Like if you're eventually, if I release this as an asset, you can of course like higher the sculpt if you want, and I think that will still looks pretty well. But then you will also like having on higher graphics turmo eventually. So that's totally up to you what you want to do with that. If you want to have that like high quality sculpt or not. And I see that I have some mistakes here and there. There we go. Yeah, I see that I have some mistakes in some of these. Let me fix. Am I now like pressing too far with all that? Wow. Wow, Jechta. Maybe I should just like move these things up instead. I think that's better to do. Although yeah, that's better. I have to do that with this one as well. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely do a little bit more painting on the roof if I want. Um, I think I will. I'm really curious because like I did this, of course, also for Aria the game, but it's also for something else. And I was not really sure if I would already show you this in this video, um, but it is also for my boot. And I think I'm going to release this video after. I think I'm going to release this video, the second video, after the entry part, because like I don't want people copying me or stuff like that. So no, it's fine though. If you do whatever you want to do. But like I think I will do this after the release of the boots, so you can see that first. I still think that I need to fix the sights. I strongly feeling to do that. It feels like I'm still a little bit off in the corners, but that's something for later. I think I'm done. I'm still considering to maybe make like a very cool, and I'm going to do it like a bit over the top, so like having a like a half moon kind of shape here in the same color as the rooftop, or maybe not, but then maybe in the gold looking. Okay. Yeah. Let's save. Quick save. And how long am I streaming? An hour. So basically, the whole Sculpt took me 3 hours. 2 hours, or at least I think I needed 1 hour to see what kind of approach I could do with the rooftop. So I think more like 2 hours I would normally do with this if I'm going to do more rooftops like this. Since this was a little bit like my first kind of rooftop with like the Japanese structure and also with the tiles. It's 1%, so that is really cool. I'm always aiming for the 1% quality. Most of my sculpts are 1%. With some exceptions here and there. Sometimes you cannot like always go for the 1%. It depends which item I want to have a close up and which item I do not want to have a close up, and which item I want to have more material on it and which I do not want to have more material on it. So it really depends on basically all my sculpts. But this one, 1%. So I have made a boot already, and oh, we level up. Are we already 300? I don't think so. So far away from that. Art and design. We are level 254. Pretty cool. Okay. I did made already a boot, and you can already see it here. Aria DreamsCom boot. The thing is that like it's 8% gameplay, 8% graphics, and 7% audio. Now the max to participate is everything needs to be max 10%, so 10%, 10%, 10%. So I have still room. I have still some spaces left. So this is what I've sculpted. I can already show you inside the view. So this is what I've sculpted so far, and it's going to be like a dojo kind of house. And as you can see, it misses something on top. And I was not really sure if I would have done it already, because like, or if I would make the rooftop for this already or not. Because like, I was like, I'm already at the 8% of the graphics and or gameplay. I think that gameplay is not that big of a deal, but like it was more of the graphics. The thing is that I have stuff inside this building happening. I'm not showing you that, but I really want to like show you a little bit like the outside. So this is like the outside, and it really felt for me like not a complete Japanese thing. Like, of course, we have the torii in the front, and it says aria in big letters, that is like connected to the torii. So the torii is basically the text holder. But it felt, I really felt something is missing, and something that like it needs representing my game a little bit more. And a flat roof didn't really feel that way. So that's why, one of the reasons I sculpted the rooftop. And let me go into the grid. We only need one-on-one grid though, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. But there we go. But we have to make sure that we are not exceeding, of course, the sides, and I think that we are a little bit like that. So, but we can fix that. I'm first going to place this in its complete form. We flip this. There we go. And I'm going to group this one here. Like now it really feels more of a Japanese house, right? Because like it has the top of a Japanese house, and it can still go lower if I want. Okay. But it needs to be smaller. And I need to find a good balance in this. Oh, as if I already knew the size of this. This looks. Besides that, some bamboo. I need to shorten the bamboo now. Also, I need to make sure that like if I want to do something on the top still, I have to be sure that like it's not exceeding. Because like this one is really the max of what we can go for. But look at that. We are 9% graphics. I'm really happy with the outcome. I'm really happy. The only thing I need to do is put the roof a little bit more down. So, but other than that, like it fits perfectly on the sides. I had not really tested this on this, to be honest. So yeah, that this is fitting perfectly. I'm so happy. So the only thing we need to do is lower this, because I really want to have that the rooftop fits a little bit better on the top. You have to scope in, by the way. There we go. Look at that. That looks good. Okay. I only need to like remove some bamboo on the sides because they're like sticking out of the whole thing. But we're checking if it's in the group. It is. There we go. Rooftop done for Aria, and to be honest, I had to do it like this. I couldn't like. If I was like not doing this, I was afraid that like it's going to be looking so weird because with the flat roof and everything, and seeing this makes me a little bit more like, okay, this is like how it should be, and it fits and connects so well to each other. So okay, and I was not even testing it on this on on the whole thing. So what we need to do now is I have to remove the bamboos that's sticking out, right? I mean, we can still have the taller ones if we place them on. Wait, what we can do is this. So they are like still in the field of because I kind of like that the longer versions are also still there, as long as they're not hitting the house itself. Then we are fine. So you still have like the longer bamboos on the side. Only in the backside, I don't think we can do that anymore because I already used almost the edge. So so sadly, I don't think that is going to work here. Maybe we can still do it, but then I need to switch to precise tool for this. And I know this is only just a boot, right? This is not even like this is not even like inside the game or anything. But so I'm aware of that. But I'm always trying to be a little bit precise, and it needs to make sense. And I don't know. Like, don't judge me, guys. Yeah, I was afraid of this. Like, we have a little bit of a problem with the fence as well. Oh, it's so close. I mean, it is sort of possible to have it still in the back. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, I can I can. No, I cannot move the fence. I mean, I can do like move the fence in total a little bit to the back, a little bit, but like a little bit. So maybe I will do that so we can have a little bit more room to spare for stuff like this. Because yeah, because they're hitting the. It's not that people will see this because like you're not going to walk behind this the whole thing. I think I'm not sure how the whole DreamsCom is going to look like, but that's what I would assume. Like it's still, yeah, it's pretty bad. You see it by the way. Shouldn't be so precise with stuff like this. Like the other side, like this sides, I have plenty of room. Like here, I have plenty of room to go nuts. This one is not really bothersome. And like the sides aren't like the most important thing because that's probably going to see anyway. You're probably not going to see the back side. Um, yeah, I'm happy that I made the rooftop for this. It feels finished now. It definitely feels finished, and it feels like it's a Japanese house and everything. And yeah, I'm happy. Did I remove the wait a second. Like on this side it looks okay, that's weird. Um hmm. Maybe I think what I have to do in the original file is to remove the last support. Because I think that doesn't make any sense. Um like remove the last support because like this support goes nowhere. And like the rooftop is already supporting on this here, so oh well, but that's something to fix in the original file. Yeah, this is Aria booth. It was like an extra showcase of. I'm not sure if you're going to see this in the video on the other one. Maybe I will cut it out. Because I don't want to show it yet. Because it's a secret. But other than that, like I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed how I sculpt my things in Dreams, and also how I do sculpt for Aria basically. Um, and this is the booth that you can enter. There is stuff happening inside. So if you're walking inside this little dojo house, something I'm not sure if it's a dojo and house. You can make your own assumptions about this. But like you're gonna walk inside and maybe you will see something happening and stuff like that. I still have like 1% graphics left, and I am more than happy because like I was afraid I could not do the rooftop in 1%. I really was afraid I couldn't do it. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I could do it. Because like now like my house feels finished. I think that I still need maybe to fix a little bit the sides here and there. The supports, I think I'm going to remove the supports underneath here that they don't need to be in there. This one really do not make any sense here, so I'm going to remove that. But other than that, like, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed, like I said, like the video. If you do, well, you know what to do. And if you don't like it, you also can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, this is a little bit like more of a sneak peek as well for Aria. You already saw the test level, or it's not really in test level because it's actually going to be a level you're going to play inside eventually in the final version. But that's like that will take some time before that will be released. But at least now, for now, I showed you all this, and I really hope that you liked it. So see you next time, everybody. And like I said, always said, don't forget to dream, everybody. See you next time. Bye bye.